I'm Kayla Thomas with NCM Associates. If you think analyzing expenses is complicated or time consuming, think again. With Axcessa, you can monitor your expenses in real time, spot trends as they happen, and catch costly anomalies before they become real problems. It's fast, it's easy, and it's designed to give you the answers you need without all the guesswork. So I'm going to start sharing my screen. You're going to be seeing the Axcessa interface live here, and I'm going to show you a couple of my favorite expense reports. Right now, we are looking at an income and expense full store, full year reports. I'm running this through May of 2025. However, you can come in here at any point in time and change the month. And then what we are looking at is full store expenses. You also notice there's different tabs up here that you can analyze this by department only if you'd like. After we scroll through the income summary up at the very top, you're going to get into the expenses. This is where you're going to be able to deep dive into vendor levels, journal entries, all the good stuff. So we've got January through May up at the top with a total and an average. So those are my columns. And then after you go through your expenses, so I have selling expenses here, a total those up, percentage of gross profit. You also have operating expenses in here, same thing. We'll total everything up, give you a percentage of your gross profit. And then after that, it's overhead expenses. So keep in mind, I am on a Ford store. A lot of these are going to follow what a Ford OEM statement and expense labels look like, but we do customize and build your tool according to your OEM statement of your choosing. So I'm under here in overhead expenses. I just want to show you utilities, for instance. I have that highlighted. I can see that I spent $1,473 in January, only $174 in February. Then it jumped up to over $4,000 in May. If I keep following that number all the way over, I can see my average says I spend $1,966 a month typically in this expense. So I know that is an anomaly that I'm seeing there in March. Let's open up that utilities arrow. This is going to break it out by department for us. So now you have the department spend. And then you can see that in the month of March, $1,648 was spent in my new car department and then a little over $1,000 in service. So it definitely looks like those two departments are spending the most when it comes to utilities. I'm going to open up the new car department a couple more, and you can see these vendor levels here or who was paid out. And then these blue numbers you see are hyperlinks. So $337 paid out to Kevin Harris. We didn't pay him anything in February, but we did in March. None of this looks consistent to me. Open up that hyperlink. Now I'm getting the journal entries for what we've paid Kevin Harris. You can filter any of these by the columns up top if you'd like. I like to filter by highest expense, put that up at the top. You can email this out to someone, ask the question, get it off your desk. You can print this off or export to an Excel document. So this report is going to allow you to deep dive any expense store-wide for a full year of review. The next one I want to show you is what's called the exceptions report. It's going to look the same. However, what we're doing here is we're looking at a smaller data set. We're looking at the last 90 days of your expenses. We're going to average those out for you, compare them to the current month that you have selected up top, and then give you a variance to, hey, does this look higher than where you were last year? Is this higher than your 90-day average? Is this higher than your forecast? If it is, it's going to highlight in red for you over here. It's going to allow you then to do what we just did on our previous report and open up these and get into journal entries, department level spends, all those good things. So promotion, for instance, I can see that's jumped up 3.53% of my gross profit compared to my 90-day average. So I know this month I'm spending more than I typically do. If I keep scrolling over a little bit more on this, I can see that it's also gone up over $2,400 compared to what I wanted to spend in this particular expense off of my forecast. So I can go into this arrow, open that up, break it out by department, just as I did before. Now open up the new car department. Now I'm into my control numbers. These hyperlinks are the journal entries themselves. So just as I did prior, you're able to do that on the exceptions report, but this one highlights in red for you. It kind of takes out that guesswork. Last but not least, detail analysis. This is going to allow you to hone in on a particular expense or a few different expenses. So if I come back up to my expense drop down and then maybe I only look at, let's just go to pre-delivery expenses. So I've got that selected here. I'm going to click on my trend tab. So instead of looking at just my pre-delivery expenses for a single month, now I'm going to look at it in a 6-month trend. You can see how that looks like across the page. These are hyperlinks right away. I can see what $10,247 was spent in pre-delivery in February. I know that's a lot higher than my 6-month average, because that's averaging out about 6,300. So I'm going to open that up real quickly. You can see, again, filtering it by amount, filtering it by entry description, however you want to do this. Export to Excel, email it over, phone a friend. There you go. You can open up pre-delivery. You can look at this by journal entries, control numbers, journal and reference numbers. However you want to analyze it, you have those drop down options. Can get very detailed, or we can keep them very high level for you. But at the end of the day, just a really efficient way to analyze your expenses. So I hope you liked what you saw today. It's time to spot your trends, stop any surprises, and start saving, because every dollar does count. Let's make smarter decisions. Start here with Axcessa. Give us a try today. Thank you very much.